Representative Carter. My name's Ed Tarpley. I'm the former district attorney of Grant Parish. I've practiced law in this state for 45 years. In 2018, I was privileged to be one of the leaders in the movement to restore the unanimous jury verdict law in Louisiana. We were successful in the legislature in getting that bill through. J.P. Morrell was the author. I didn't even know J.P. until I showed up to testify at the committee. But it got through by God's grace and mercy. And then the people of the state voted 64% to restore the unanimous jury verdict law in Louisiana. That's one of the greatest things I've ever had a privilege to be a part of. And I want you to know that I'm here today because of my friendship with a man named Calvin Duncan. I met Calvin during the campaign to restore the unanimous jury verdict. And you know, after hearing his story, he had every right to be angry and hurt and bitter. But you know, I didn't find that. I found a man that was optimistic and cheerful and hopeful for the future. And so what this bill is all about in my mind is about the politics of personal destruction. And that's why I think it's a stain on this governor and on this Republican-controlled legislature. I'm a Republican. I was elected as a Republican. I'm a member of the Republican State Central Committee. And let me tell you what, this bill doesn't represent our commitment to the Constitution and preserving liberty in our country. It is everything against that. I can tell you this much, that I don't know who's behind this bill. I really don't. I don't think Jay Morris is really behind it. I think Jay Morris is doing this because somebody asked him to. I'm ashamed of Jay Morris because he's my state senator, and I'm opposed to this bill. But whoever came up with this has a sick and twisted mind, and I'll tell you why. Because this is about destroying the career of somebody before it even gets started. We ought to celebrate what Calvin Duncan has done in his life. And instead, this legislature is being asked to destroy a political career that's just been started. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's not your fault because you didn't bring the bill. But whoever came up with this bill, whether it was Governor Landry or Attorney General Murrell or somebody else, I don't know who. But let me tell you what, they ought to be in this committee today telling us why they want Calvin Duncan not to take his office. You know, the Bible has a lot to say about injustice. God hates injustice. Proverbs 11:1 says, "The Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him." And let me tell you, that's what this is about. This is about dishonest scales, because this is dishonest. So I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, and particularly Republicans, don't put a stain on this legislature. Don't put a stain on this state. And don't put a stain on the Republican Party. We're better than this. Let's do the right thing and vote no on this bill.
Will this panel take a question?
I'll take a question from anybody.
Representative Owens?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just one quick question for Mr. Tarpley.
Yes, sir, Representative.
You heard what the lady from the ACLU said about the bill and the functions of law possibly triggering another election. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did hear that. I think there's serious problems with this legislation. I think it's being rushed through without accurate regard for the consequences. Former Clerk Arthur Morrell said this was a recipe for chaos. It is a recipe for chaos. We don't know how this is going to work out. Members of this committee, there has not even been a fiscal note generated for this legislation. It is unheard of that we would do something like this, a monumental change like this, to change a system in New Orleans that's existed for 100 years. We would do this without a fiscal note. I can't understand and can't believe this is being done. So
My
yes.
curiosity was driven as to whether or not that there would be obscurity that's created as to, okay, who's supposed to be there, because we're taking two and we're getting rid of one.
I think there absolutely will be constitutional issues. There will be practical issues about how you implement this.
Okay.
This is going to wind up in court without a question.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your accommodating me a little bit late here. Chris Alexander, Louisiana Citizen Advocacy Group. We're not allowed to ask questions down here, so I'll just make it rhetorical. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? We are conservatives. We are Republicans. We honor the rule of law in our party. We don't honor the rule of a master. you're going to entertain this vote today and eviscerate a Democrat election where a man who has overcome things in his life that would kill every single one of you and would kill me and triumphed over all the dark angels of his nature to win an office legitimately, and you're going to come in here in one fell swoop and destroy that. Thomas Jefferson would absolutely be appalled at what you're considering doing here today. Absolutely appalled by it. Even in a place like this, there are certain times when principle must reign supreme. And I know the pressure that every one of you is under. I understand it fully. We're dealing with a governor right now who wants to come in here and eviscerate this seat while creating unconstitutionally a seat in the 6th district that is probably going to be declared grotesquely unconstitutional by our Supreme Court. So we believe in, I guess we just don't believe in the Democrat process in our party anymore. But I'll tell you right now, and I'm speaking for my dad, I'm speaking for my brothers, and I'm speaking as the 6th of 12 kids in my family that have given their blood and their life and their heart to this party, to the Republican Party. If you do this and you make this vote, it is a betrayal of everything that we stand for and believe in as a party, and everything that men who went before us, a lot greater men than us, created to give us. You honor your oath here today. You honor this man. You honor him personally, and you honor the democratic process in your vote, because if you don't, there is no other explanation than that you cowered to the political will of somebody else and did not do what the Constitution and what your own conscience should be charging you to do. God bless you.
Thank you. Let me say that everyone who wanted to testify